Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us back to the second episode of Meet the Changemaker. Today, we have a special guest again, Queen Shiba. Hi, Queen Shiba.
How are you, Dr. Jess? I'm so happy to be here, and it's always a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you are with us today. The show Meet the Changemaker feature women who are definitely doing great things, especially on the African continent. And we're gonna have this show to just make sure that we honor them and get to know them, focus on the story. And today we're gonna get to know Queen Shiba, and we're gonna find what amazing things she's doing. She was recently featured in one of our show discussion with Dr.Jess, where we talk about female genital mutilation and cooking. But today we're gonna expand a little more on not just that topic, but who she is and what she has been doing. So without further ado, Queen Shiba, could you briefly let us know who you are and anything personal that we should know or professionally about you?
Okay, let me start. Yes, my name is Queen Shiba by birth.
Yes.
Renee Dubois. I am the last daughter of Bishop James Edward Dubois and Daisy Lee Brown. I am a mother biologically of 5 children, 3 beautiful sons and 2 beautiful daughters, and I have many, many children in America and specifically in Africa, and I claim them all. So I'm very grateful to be the mother to them, a mentor to them, a guide for them, because it takes a village, and we appreciate the fact that we come to know one another. So also, I am the founder, creative director of nonprofit organization Queen Shiba Village, volunteering run operation in my ancestral Senegal, West Africa. Queen Shiba Village is a baraka. Baraka in Arabic means a blessing, a benediction from my king, Imam Hassan Cisse. May God be pleased with his many missions on earth. I get many blessings from him for this mission. But before him, my grandmother gave me a blessing also for this mission long ago. So pretty much, Queen Shiba Village is an operation, volunteering program, event, resource tools for young women period, elderly, seniors, orphans, infants, anyone, because we satisfy the need for the resources that we don't have in Senegal. And this type of work has always been a blessing, a curious mind to me to do, because I studied the 2 most important women in my life, which was and is still my grandmother and my beloved mother. Both of these beloved queens, they are the it for me. They are the matriarch for me, and this mirroring and this legacy is like a guidance to me from them to me to be empowered in this work. And I like to say too is I've always been empowered. I've been empowered since my birth. My father, he set the deal. My father is a bishop. He was a minister. He's a pastor in the church. Yes, I'm a church girl too. I'm a Muslim church girl as well. And my father set the stage for me at birth. And when he told me, named me Queen Shiba, the biggest benefit I can get from him in that is that I believed it, and it set me on a course of this journey that is happening now in my life. So I want to give gratitude to all the, my parents, my ancestors, my beloved king, my African community who's supportive of me, people like you. I'm in gratitude to everyone that can relate to an African woman coming back to her people and to
Yeah.
be able to make a difference
Yeah.
and
Well,
be happy about it. Yeah.
yeah, well, yes. That's why I like to call women of African descent, because there's so much more that comes with, be like for me, African heritage is so beautiful that I feel like including everyone is important, because we are together in this. So yeah, I want to say also thank you to you for doing what you do. And Senegal is a place I would love to visit for sure. I love
Welcome.
the culture. The little I know, I mean, I don't know much. I'd love to go visit. And you mentioned, that you're a mother of 5 beautiful children and many more around the world. And that's also, it's very interesting, because in my worldview, this is actually motherhood. That's what it's about. Just, caring and be a motherly figure with two children for many reasons. They may have their own mother, but you come in as that mother figure as well. And it's very African, I would say, because we call, women of certain age mama easily. So you told me that you also call Mama Sheba, is that correct? By many?
Mom Cisse, lovely Mom Sheba.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to go back a little bit to the Queen Sheba village. And I know you just say that your mother, your grandmother, and your aunt were those strong motherly figures. So the Queen Sheba village itself, what, I don't want to say trigger, but what led you to create it, and how long it's been around? Because many may not know.
Yes. I've always wanted to do something for women in Africa. I didn't know the name of this foundation, nonprofit association that I was creating. Like I said before, I cannot talk about Queen Sheba Village without mentioning my husband, Zoe King Imam Hassan Sisi, Sheikh of Medina by Kowalak. It'd just be impossible not to mention him, because he invited me. He was the key to me coming in the door, getting in the door to Africa. I had never been to Africa continent before then. I had never been to Senegal, my ancestral home, before then. So basically what I wanted to do was I didn't even know what a nonprofit was back in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
When he invited me, I met him in 2003. He invited me to come.
Mm-hmm.
When I did get there, trust me, I was so busy around Senegal. He was wondering and asking where was I at when I would come to be with him. So I was only his guest at the time and his student. He was my mentor, still is, in the spiritual aspects of it. But it led to me to do this type of work because, first of all, I'm a passionate person about humanity and women in particular.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends, and I'm grateful and happy for that by the grace of God. And what I was seeking to do was, because I saw so much poverty, I was like, this is going to be a lot of work. Not only a lot of work that I'm not used to in this type of poverty. We have poverty in America, but poverty there was like on another level. And I was like, first and foremost, I don't have the funds for this. I was working at the time, still am working. Had a great career as a private contractor, and still have that career as well when I want to go back to it. And I had to self-fund some of the events that we had in the beginning. It was not a nonprofit. We didn't get the nonprofit status until 2013, and I was able to meet many people. I cannot also not mention my son Mustafa that I adopted when he was young. So Mustafa has always been by my side, and with his help and his know-abouts and meeting his mother and my dear friend Rokeya, this is how we kind of put together Queen Sheba Village in a sense. And then we attracted volunteers who came in Senegal in between these different times. So pretty much what we had to do was talk about the situations with the people. I met many different people in different villages. Also, the MFGC, female genital mutilation and cutting, came up, and I got involved with them in that and on a private situation, and meetings inside their homes and that type of thing, talking about it and that kind of thing. So from then, from there we grew, because what I would do is I would taking around meeting different people, putting everything together. So I would go back and forth from Africa, Senegal, back home here to America, and back and forth back home to Senegal. So a lot of the different things that we did and still am doing came in time. And I had the blessings of my mentor and guide, King Imam, may God be pleased with him at the time, and still do. So we know it just took off from there. It's like a history in between different other parts of my life in between, as I went back and forth to do these type of things. But the most thing that I had to come up with was a way to do it. And the only great way you can do certain things is through resources and people, and definitely money. Once you get these things together, you can start the process of getting your boat to float, so to speak. So
and I don't want to interrupt you, but I want to go back a little bit on what you say on your husband and who has led you the way to the African continent. What was his nationality or origin? Is it also American too?
No. King Hassan Cisse is Senegalese. Yes.
Listen, you have this.
And African king.
Okay. So we have
a real African king. This is what I call him. This is what he loves,
Yes. Of course.
He is Senegalese. And, I remember when I was in Massachusetts as a young girl. I must have been about 10 or 11 years old. I met an old African man. It was I think it's in Charlestown. Yeah, Charlestown, Massachusetts. I have a history in Massachusetts. And he said, and he asked me what was my name.
Mm-hmm.
My name. And he said, "Your King Solomon, alayhi salam, your King Solomon is in Africa." I never forget that.
Oh, wow.
And in between time in life, I did forget that. I did forget it. And it came up down the road in my life. I had this, I didn't have a search for an African king, but it was in my mind, Then I forgot all about it. So it happened, many years later, because I was 44 years old when I met my king. Yeah.
Wow.
So he said, "Your king is in Africa." So.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing. I know it's very, you share with me privately is very important, so I wanted to make sure you do. Let us know how important having that your king in your life and that connection meant so much, help you to go back to your Senegalese root and you mentioned earlier, and of course, your motherly figure, a grandmother and your mother, because sometimes it's for people to understand why people making changes. It, like you say, was poverty. It's also good to know you, and of course you'd be welcome to go back and talk about specific project. And I do remember that it was such a you shared with me that you wanted to reconnect with your ancestry and having your husband and going back to the country of Senegal. That was very important to you. And that organization, your organization, Shiba Village, is actually a beautiful name. I want to let you know that, because when you hear village, you hear people who love one another, who want the betterment of each other. It's a community. And I think that's a beautiful name. I never share with you, but let me just tell you that now. So it's a volunteer-based organization. What would be the website if folks want to check it out, or how can they reach out to you? Just to make sure we, whoever wants you to say, hey, it's volunteer-based, I'm interested. And I think it's even more special because it's run by a woman of African descent for, her people. So this is the kind of organization personally I'm more drawn to, because I feel like that's also very important. So how can people reach out to you? What's the website? What kind of support do you need?
Queen Sheba Village is queenshebavillage.org.
Mm-hmm.
And we are always welcoming professional volunteers who have the skills in the different areas and topics that we want to bring about in Africa. And I say professional because of when, on the grounds in Africa, it's not easy to operate. There are certain things in certain areas that are no power, no electricity, rugged roads. There are difficulties that we have back home that we take for granted in the West, here in the US of A.
Okay.
And when we have professional people working, whether they are from Senegal, whether they are from Russia, it doesn't matter. Ukraine, they could be from Syria, they could be from Texas, they can be from Arizona, it doesn't matter. They have the skills to be able to assist us in these programs and topics, and it kind of cuts down on the a lot of explaining things as far as in the different topics. We are also welcoming people who can be our good, I would say, standbys, and they don't have to have that many skills as far as that is concerned, but they're willing to help. So we really don't turn down anyone. We are welcoming volunteering operation. We seek, like I said, the skills and the topics, the programs that we want to put out there, and most of the topics are about female genital cutting, health and hygiene, medical distributions, book bags, the orphan projects that we have, feeding people. These are the basic ones that go round and round and round that we are confronted with all the time, and also microcredit loans when we have the funding for that. So basically what we're seeking to do is attract more of these volunteers and them into Senegal. Once our project, this is very important, that we are putting a project educational resource center for youth, young women, girls. We will have all of these topics I just named on that base there. And we usually do it in workshop settings, and that's how it will be ran there. So queenshebavillage.org, and our campaign is Give Butter /help build. If you put this in, Give Butter /help build, you will come across the project, and hopefully we can share the links on this program.
I will make sure we have the links in the job in the description. And so and then you're also on Twitter or Facebook page, or the website will certainly give you a lot of information. So if you go to the website, and I wanted to just go on a little bit more on the Queen Sheba Village project. Like you say, we want to support education, healthcare in terms of hygiene, and of course the FGM Cisse. Could you tell us what maybe Queen Sheba Village has done? Highlight one project or two briefly, and what we're planning to do for 2023. So what we did last year and what we want to do.
Currently, let me say this as like a historical part of it. A lot of our projects and everything was slowed down due to the fact that we did not have a home. How we operated in the beginning was in universities. We operated under the trees. We operated at someone's house, someone's basement, someone's attic, someone's rooftop. We operated in many of discussions in most people's homes. And as time went on, we understood that we can no longer do that. This is why the project that we're building is in current in action at the time, right here and right now. We also recognized the fact that we needed more professionals to help in this organization, and they had to be educated in something nonprofit, NGO, foundation, associations, because in order to get your programs and topics on the forefront, you have to work with people who are related to that. you can train people, you can educate people yourself, but that's a lot of time.
Yes,
And
I see what you mean. Yeah.
it's a lot of time.
If you're a professional, I mean, we don't ask you to have a 20 years experience, but if you went to school, you definitely feel like you have learned, you are working in an area that Queen Sheba Village needs help. Please reach out, because like, we don't just want to do things randomly. We want to do things right for the people.
Yes, and the project, like I said, that we are looking forward to do more is the number one project is this fundraising. Fundraise, donate raw materials. This is the project that we're working on now. We're not working on too many other projects in between. Every once in a while, we'll have feeding the orphans, feeding the people, which we're working on. We all, me, I'm the type of person as I cannot do one thing I have to do several different things to keep my mind busy, to keep myself busy, because I like to multitask, and I'm always looking for money for health and hygiene, medical distributions, our orphan care project. So, and I know if I can get this building up and going, and which we are doing and working on, I can do more of that with my volunteers. So what we're working on 2023 is completing the project. Completing the project. Once we get the project complete, we're going to continue the programs and events that I just talked about. So that's what we look for in 2023. So we need donations. Of course, we need more materials, gifts in kind. I collect it right here at my office here. I'm all over the place. So basically, what we're looking at is the project that should complete the project.
And for those who you are based in the United States, even though you travel between Senegal and the US, so you are based, do you mind saying where in the US?
Washington, D.C., the DMV. The DMV is called the District of Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. And this is where we're headquartered, because Queen Sheba Village is a US of A, Maryland nonprofit. It's exclusively for operations in Senegal. So our base is in Senegal and in Dakar, right? But we are an exclusive for operations in my ancestral Senegal. So,
And on your website, there's a box that says Area of Impact, 10,000 Women Entrepreneurship. I want us to highlight those numbers. I know we go from the website. So is it 10,000 women that Queen Sheba Village has helped women entrepreneurship? Is that what the number refer to?
On the website, you can go and scroll down a little bit and you'll see different numbers of impact collectively of what we have done. I keep the statistics current, and I have our partner Candid. Candid is a foundation center. They're located in Washington, D.C. They help me with the statistics of what we have done, and all the information is there. If you go to Candid, if you hit that transparency, 2023 transparency, you can go and look at the statistics, and that's what's generated from them.
Okay.
Record in to what we have done, and you see it on the website.
That's very important to share with anyone interested, because Queen Sheba Village by Queen Sheba and her volunteer. First of all, thank you for all the volunteers from Queen Sheba Village. Thank you for all the work you've been doing for many years. And, I would love, if you want, having one of your volunteer main person, maybe another time. But thank you for all doing, because Queen Sheba cannot do that alone. She needs all of us to support her, and it's become our village, right? So as Queen Sheba said, she has numbers, because for me it's also important, and that's why I was drawn to your organization, because I can see that you actually making clear that this is not something that we just do and then we don't report to you. We are accountable to everyone that comes and decided to support financially, the time. So please, I really want to tell to those who considering supporting Queen Sheba Village, the website, like she said, there's a Platinum Trust 2023. I'm looking at it as I'm looking this side, that's the website. And I can see, I didn't even know if I should click, but it's beautiful. Thank you for doing that, Queen Sheba, and everyone involved with us. And there's a video. All this to say that it's not like they say, it's just Senegal. And I think that's generally you have to focus on one thing. There's so many needs in Senegal, and or at least a village that you are going to. So for me, it's better to focus on one country sometimes and the people, and making sure that 10, 20 years from now, you are building a healthy community. You are helping anyway. You are doing your part with the volunteer. So do you want to talk about the numbers? Do you want a little bit, or you want me to go through them for those who are listening in terms of what you've done?
Yeah, let me say this, and
Yes.
just to piggyback on what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
The volunteers are the rock, the heart of Queen Sheba Village. I'm telling you, the volunteers are my rock because, you know, especially after the passing of my beloved King, may Allah be pleased with him.
Mm-hmm.
When he was alive, and he told me on the first meeting that I met him, who and what and where. Some specific details he told me when I first met him. I didn't even know who he was at the time. I'm just excuse me.
Mm.
You wonder. I had to pull a lot of strength after he passed because the first thing that came up was, well, who's going to help me do all these blessings that you're giving me, especially after he passed. So your strength has to come from within. Your faith in God and all the things that you've been taught has to come forward. So the volunteers that were sent to me by the grace and mercy of God and that are being sent to me, they are Queen Sheba Village. I'm just a vehicle, vessel being used for the mission, the vision of this operation. But my volunteers, they're Queen Sheba Village. They're Queen Sheba. They are whoever they want to be. And I am in gratitude to them 100%. 100%. So thank you for mentioning that, because volunteerism is not dead. And that's what they want us to believe, because of different the funding is so difficult to get. This is so difficult to get. We get funding, we're going to get funding, and we'll get more funding. There's just a faith that you have to have in who you are and what you're doing in Africa or wherever you are doing on the planet. So yeah.
And yeah, thank you for sharing. And through you, once again, the Queen Sheba Village volunteers are the change makers, and we thank you. I can see that Queen Sheba Village won a humanitarian award in 2011 for Sister in Spirit from
Sister in Spirit organization.
Yeah, do you want to say a little bit about it? Because once again, it's such a beautiful organization that I don't think one session will be enough to tell all about Queen Sheba Village. I'm right. But I would like to, what was that award about in 2011? What was it highlighting? Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Well, first and foremost, it was a surprise. It was like a trickster, so to speak. A good friend of mine I've known for many years, Deborah Samuels. She's a co-founder with Raisa Nazir. They are co-founders and founder of Sisters in Spirit organization. And yes, and they're based in Atlanta. And they have they're based here in the DMV as well. And so what happened was, Dr. Jess, I was invited to come down there to vending, because our vending project is what I use with Sister Rokeya, who's now deceased. May God be pleased with her as well. May God have mercy on her soul. She is very pivotal and vital in the startup of Queen Sheba Village through fashion. And so she said to me, you know what, you love fashion. I can see that. And she said, let me show you introduce you to some people. So we use that fashion tool for the boutique of fabrics and textiles to do the women micro-led program for business. But we did it through fashion, import, export. I would get the fashion from her at a very low price, high quality fashions bring it back to self. So because I was used to doing that, and I was known to doing that in the DMV areas, in different places, I would do the vending. My friend Deborah, what she did was she invited me to come to Atlanta to do some vending, you know. So I did the vending there and everything. And on the side of the vending, I was one of the vendors. There was a lot of us. I was doing my vending, Queen Sugar Village, making money to bring back to DMV to put into my programs. And what happened was, as I'm doing the vending, they're having an event in another room. And so she comes out and she tells me to take a break and come to the other room and be a part of the event. And, you know, just to watch on and catch up and see what's happening. So I wouldn't miss what was going on there. So, so as they were doing the events and stuff, they started talking about people doing great things and this is happening, that is happening, and they started presenting awards and stuff. And he started talking about this woman that was working in Africa and everything, and in Senegal, and she was doing this and that. And as I'm sitting there listening to her, I said, "Wow, you know, I didn't know that she was talking about me." Oh my God! Yeah,
What a blessing.
I didn't know that she was talking about me. And so I'm sitting there listening and said, "Woman, you know," and I was kind of like goofing off in a way, in a sense. You know, I was listening. You know, and then she said my name, and people started clapping, and I was clapping. I was clapping, and I was looking at, and people, and so as she was looking at me, and people started to look at who is she talking about, and everybody was looking, and they started looking at me. I said, "What?" Oh God! Oh, Yalla! I said, "What?" Ah! I jumped. I said, "Oh my God." You know, and sure, oh my goodness, it was like she didn't want me to know what was really going on, why she really invited me, you know. And they presented me the award, and I was so and still am. I'm so grateful for her. I know her for so many years, and her and Raisa, and I'm so grateful to them, and for the honor of being able to go back home and to look my people in the eye and say, "I'm back. Y'all got, I got y'all. Let's do this." So yeah, but that was wild. Yeah.
And so I don't want to get the number right, wrong. Sorry. So it's been how many years again? You did share with me already, but
we had a nonprofit status in 2013. As a matter of fact, too, the numbers that you see on that, all the work that we've done, we did a lot of majority of the work before we had nonprofit status.
That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, you did even you were involved before 2020.
Yes, we did. Yes.
So it's like over 15 years.
Yeah. Yes, because I got invited in 2003 by my king. May God be pleased with him. And then, and I went in 2004, but it was nothing but process up until 2013 is when I got the paperwork done, and my Esquire called me in and we worked on it. And 2013 it was official as far as nonprofit status, you know. But the work, I was all over the place for years, you know.
And that's what I want people to know. I want people to know that having the statute was just a way for you to move forward with your humanitarian project. But you have been doing that way before. And so that's important for me to make to share. So we are not talking to someone who just have an idea, "Oh, I need to create this nonprofit." You are doing the work for many years before the creation of, I want to say, your legal entity. That was such a funny story but so sweet. And I think that you deserve all the goodness and, you, Queen Sheba Village, the volunteer, everyone involved, all the good things you have, because we have great need on the continent, especially women and girls. And as it says, the population you serve are women and girls, economically disadvantaged people. Is there anything we haven't touched on as we're wrapping up here that you'd like to share about yourself or your organization?
What is important to me, and us all volunteers and the ones that will come, is the project, because you cannot operate the way you would like to without the project being completed. So I put more emphasis on the project, sharing the project, talking about the project, sharing the links, and sharing the updates to the project where we are. We're seeking at least $8,000 more to get
Okay.
in the building, because we have now, we're almost up to the roof of the project. We share the project and the updates on social media. All our social media is at the top right-hand page side of the website. And on the Give Butter campaign, givebutter.com, help build. What we do there is we share the volunteers of people who are donating, not volunteers as in volunteering to work, but the donors who are our family members, who are our volunteers, who are strangers. We share the updates there for them to keep up. And also, too, if anyone wants to meet me in person, they can also make an appointment to meet me in person while I'm in the DMV, because I will be here as long as the need is for the funding is concerned to get the job done. So pretty much it's the project, complete the project, where we are, what we're doing, the updates to the project. And you know, like I said, I'm a private person, but I'm very public because I have to be, you know what I mean? And anybody can contact me. They can contact the phone number that can be shared on the screen. And it's also on the website. They can contact the Gmail, queenshebavillage.inc@gmail.com, which you will share in your links. And basically, it's not difficult to get in contact with me at all, because
Yeah.
most media, you know what I
You're
mean?
very accessible. Yeah, she's accessible, y'all. You can reach out to Queen Shiva. She's very, very warm, and she you know, I can sense that sometimes people, you know, they have a different way of handling the communication, and I'm very glad that we were able to really talk about this beautiful organization, Queen Shiva Village. So the project is about building, just to make sure people understand, when you say the project, you mean build, I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, building something for in Senegal.
Yeah, it's the project is help build a project. Help build, the project is for women, girls, youth, orphan. It's a social center
A
facility.
social center.
Yes, a social center facility that will be used for everything that we talked about and more. Yes.
Okay, social center for women and girls in Senegal. And I just saw a page that says Français, and on your website. So I'll look that up too. But thank you so much, Queen Sheba, and we send many, many blessings to all those before us that paved the way, including your spouse and your relative, your grandmother. And I would want to share a little more, maybe another time, about them, because there's so much we can share. And once again, thank you to all the Queen Sheba Village citizen, I guess, volunteer who are doing so many great things. Please donate to Queen Sheba Village, and because that, you know, they're doing great things in Senegal for women and girls. And I really believe in this organization, and I want to know more in terms of even how I can support personally, right? So I don't want to make any commitment right now on the spot, but my heart definitely is with Queen Sheba Village, Queen Sheba, and is an inspiration to me too, because sometimes people, you know, wonder how to help others, and we have here Queen Sheba already done for so many years. We will learn from her, we'll support her, and I know that she's such a giving person that, like, every time she tells me, if you need anything, Dr. Jess, let me know. So she's certainly a very giving person in many ways. So thank you again, Queen Sheba, for coming today at the Meet the Changemaker, this second episode.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jess, for having us. And I want you all to know that our volunteers, they rock. And Dr. Jess, we are very honored to be able to speak with you because it's a blessing for us as well. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.